I almost fell off my chair. You know what I want for you guys? I want you to be a success. I want you to be awesome. I want you to look at your life and say, wow, I'm so glad I watched those videos. I got so much and I had so many tools for that next stage of life, that independence. I transitioned from teens to independence and I did it with grace and skill and peace. And that's what I want to help you do. And right now, maybe you are a teenager or maybe you are a young woman, but I'm just telling you, these 7 things, you can accomplish them. It's not some far-reaching goal. You can accomplish them. You can start right now, and it will make all the difference in your life. I have the worst memory ever. Worst. And so when I wrote down these 7 things that you can accomplish, I looked and I thought, okay, is there an acronym for this that maybe will help me remember? And the acronym that I figured out works for the word whisper. And I just think that's kind of awesome because these 7 things that you can accomplish right now in your life are quiet things. They are personal goals, but let me tell you, they will shout to the world that you are a different kind of person, a person that will be a success in anything that you really try to do. Okay, so W stands for a wise learner. And if there was only one thing that you could get, it would be this one. A wise man increaseth in knowledge. A wise man fears the Lord. A wise man is humble enough to know that he doesn't know everything. He's not the exception to the rule, and that he needs to keep learning about that next stage of life. And that is why I am here. I want to help you guys have the tools to master these deeper issues of life, whether it's faith or relationships, self-management, or fulfilling God's purpose for your life. But be a wise learner and continually seek to learn and know God's knowledge and the knowledge of Christ, and continue on that path the whole rest of your life. Seek to know truth. If you haven't subscribed yet, you should do that right now, because I do teach these elements of life. And be a wise learner. Keep learning. Look to see somebody who's gone before and who's trying to help you master these things in your own life. So go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can watch every video, and we'll move on to H. H stands for hard worker. If you are a hard worker, the number one thing you need to do is finish the job. Whatever it is, whatever task you're told to do, whether it's your chore or whether it's your school or whether it's something at work, finish the job. But what makes you extra special is if you go this next mile. Do something else in addition to, and that is what will make you shine. And you know what, if there is a lazy guy at work or in your family and they're always slacking, and you say, you know what, I'm going to pick up the slack, I'm going to do it even though it's not my job, that is an excellent character trait that will get you noticed and will get you places, because the lazy guy is going to be like, sure, go ahead and do my work. I'm totally glad you're doing that. And you know what? He's going to lose his job and you're going to get promoted. You can start that habit right now. Be a hard worker. I, integrity. I was reading a book and it talked about how integrity came from the word integer, and integer is a number, and a number that's a whole. And so integrity has to do with being a whole person and presenting who you truly are everywhere you are. And so it's a lot about not being a hypocrite. It's a lot about honesty and value and virtue, no matter where you are, no matter if somebody's looking or if somebody's not looking. This reminded me of a story when I was younger. I kind of thought it was cool to swear. I just did. And so I remember I got in the habit of saying God's name in vain, and I was at a Christian school and I was with my friends and I was being cool, and I said, and then my mom heard me from upstairs and she didn't know it was me, and she said, who said that? And everybody went silent. And I wasn't about to tell anybody it was me, and nobody was going to tell on anybody. And so she just kind of walked away frustrated. But here I am, probably 30 years later, and I remember that because it stung in my heart that I was a hypocrite. That I'm not saying go out and say, well, if I'm going to cuss in front of everybody. I'm going to cuss in front of my pastor. What I'm saying is that if it's not appropriate and if it's a sin in front of one person, then don't be sinning around your friends because you feel cooler about it. You need to have that integrity of what's right. I'm going to have that willpower, and I'm going to be like Daniel, who purposed in his heart he would not defile himself. And so I'm going to purpose in my heart that no matter where I am, I'm going to do what's right. Whether they think I'm cool or whether they don't think I'm cool, I'm going to be a whole person. I am going to be genuine no matter where I am. And that made a big difference in my life. I wanted to be genuine. S, a servant's heart. And I bet you this is probably a harder area for everybody because honestly, we're busy. We have school, we have work, we have activities that we do, we have our family responsibilities. And then to be occupied, it seems sometimes in every moment, you have people telling you what to do, to stop and say, hey, does anybody need any help? Because really what you want to do is you want to go have fun doing what you like to do, and you're tired of working. And so as a hard worker, you've already done your job, you've done a little bit more, and now I say try to find somebody to help. Does this ever end? I'm not saying every moment of every day be a servant until you drop, but I am saying that withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. If you see somebody's really struggling and you have to go to an activity in about a half hour, say, hey, let's just pitch in, we'll get this done really fast. Or if your grandmother needs help with something at her house, maybe she needs something to be hung up and your parents are busy, but you are free, say, hey, Mom, can Grandma pick me up? I want to go help her out with that. That is a servant's heart, and Christ was a servant. If you read through Mark, that is all he did. He served people for God the Father, and that was his heart. And if you can strive to be a helper, I'm telling you, your value and your relationship with God, it will blossom because you will see so much fruit and so much long-term investment in the lives of the people around you for Christ. Problem solving. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in another video. Are you a problem solver or are you a problem finder? And so I want to just give you a little bit on how to be a problem solver, because I bet you probably do want to be a problem solver. You don't want somebody to look at you and say, hey, right there, that's an excuse maker who doesn't get anything done. And so to be a problem solver, you need to ask yourself a series of questions. And so rather than saying, I can't get a car, ask yourself, what do I need to do to get a car? Okay, that's simple enough. And you say, well, I need money. I can't get any money. That's the problem finder. I can't get any money. The problem solver then goes and asks that same question. What do I need to do to get money? All right, so then you follow that and you say, well, I need to get a job. Okay, that's great. What do you need to do to get a job? And then sometimes the problem finder will say, well, to get a job, I need to have a car. And this is where we all started, isn't it? But a problem solver would say, okay, let's look at some options. If I need a job, if I need money and I don't have a car, what could I do? Well, first try to see if there's anything within walking distance. See if there's somebody that you know who has a job somewhere and get a ride with them. Or you could ask your parent or your grandparent to see if they could give you a ride. There are options, maybe someplace you can ride your bike to, or within walking distance in your neighborhood. Maybe you and your sibling can go clean houses and earn some good money that way. But there's always an answer if you are the type of person who wants to solve the problem. E is being an encourager, and that has a huge part in building relationships and long-term relationships. A lot of your success in life depends on your communication and your communication skills and how you build and maintain relationships. And I'm telling you, if you are an encourager, a good word maketh the heart glad. You will be known as somebody who adds value to relationships, who adds value to a situation, who adds value in communication, because you're always finding something sincerely that you appreciate about somebody and a job that they're doing well, and you point it out and you say, wow, you did that, you were a hard worker, or you look amazing today. Just find something that you sincerely believe. Always be on the lookout for what you appreciate about somebody and always tell them. The last one is R, for respectful communicator. And I talk about this in my video on how to get your parents to listen to you. So I'm not going to talk a lot about it right here, but go ahead and watch that video and you will learn how to be a respectful communicator, that when your emotions are high or you just feel like you're not going to get anywhere with somebody, these 5 tips of what to do and 5 tips of what not to do are going to make a huge difference in your life. So there you have it. Whisper and actually speak loudly with your life. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit the like button and share it with a friend. Thanks.